Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen. So, today's agenda is to cover list comprehension and functions in Python. After that, we'll go to GRPA1 of week 4. Okay. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, consider this particular code here. Here we have a numbers list with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have another list squares, which is an empty list. And here we are using a for loop. So using the for loop, what we are doing for each number in numbers. So at a time, it will take one number from this numbers, right? One by one. So for each number, what to do? Squares dot append, and how or what we are appending to squares? Num star star 2, square of that particular number. So into this squares list, we are actually appending the square of the numbers from this numbers list. So we will get the first in the first iteration, what will be inside the squares? For num will be 1, then we will append 1 square, 1 2 squares, right? And for 2, the second, then 2 square 4 will go in 2 squares. Then we will append 3 square 9, and then 4 square 16, and 5 square 25. So this is how we created which list? Squares list from numbers list. And then finally printing out this particular list squares. So that's how we got the output as 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, which is our squares list. Okay. Now this is a normal way of creating a list. And list comprehension. So list comprehension, what we can do is using list comprehension, we can create a list. We can create a list in maybe a single code, or I think in a single line. That will be better. Create a list in a single line. So how we can do this, we'll see. Okay. So the same, we want to achieve the same functionality, and let's try to do it in a different way using list comprehension. So in list comprehension, I'll first give the pattern how we create something, a list using list comprehension. Suppose we want to create a list, let's name it as new list, n list. Then we'll create the list as, we have to give some expression, and then we'll use for loop for each maybe some item in some iterable. So which are some iterables that you have learned so far? List, set, etc. So what is iterable? Those collection through which we can loop, right? So in this way, we can create some list. So this is the syntax to create a list out of a list using list comprehension. So let's have it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can we use ternary operator in list comprehension?
Ternary operator, we have to check. I'll go one by one. So this is the basic syntax. Let's try to achieve the same functionality using this list comprehension. How can we do this? Our new list should be squares, and let's have our, okay, this will be saved already, but still I'll keep it here, the numbers list. numbers list. And how we are gonna create? We want to give some expression for this. What we want to add. So let me start with for loop itself. For number in the numbers list, what I want to store, the expression should be square of number. Okay, so you can see this is the expression what we want to store as the new item for our squares list, and this is the iterable that we take here, numbers list, already existing numbers list. So what will happen? Create a new list, and the element of that particular list will be square of num, from where? For each number in this particular collection numbers. So this is like we actually did this 3 lines in 1 line. Getting it?
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, do we have to define the num in the second code which you have written
Yeah.
after
So
the off?
here you have to give something. So we need some object to go through this, right? So you can give some for I in numbers or something. Anything you can give, just as a variable name.
Okay, ma'am.
So this
Ma'am,
is the yeah.
will append give a new list or it updates the same list?
Sorry.
Will append give a new list or it's just updating the same list?
This is a different list. You see, squares is a different list. So we are creating a new list squares using list comprehension.
Append?
Here again, this will actually create a different list. We started with squares and empty list, right? So this is a different list from numbers. Now, what we can do is, let's try something more on this. You want to see? I'll print it. So you'll get squares list. Now, let's add one more thing, adding a condition. So how to add a condition in list comprehension? So suppose we want square of only even numbers in this particular list. Let me rename it as squares even.
Ma'am,
Then, yeah,
it should be X power 2, right?
yeah. Wait, sorry.
Um, the fifth code cell or the second line.
Haha, yes, yes, yes. So, so what I have to do squares, right?
It should be X power 2, right?
For item you
Num
are
is not
using
defined.
x, and in expression you are using num.
Num is not
So
defined.
what? Yeah, I got it. Is yeah, I got his doubt. So you are asking about this one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He's asking that only.
Yeah. So here we don't have to change. This is just a name. Like here you see for num in numbers, we are like naming the number. So each time it will take one by one, right?
No,
First,
ma'am.
it will
He's
add.
saying like you have used num there, and later you have used x. So both should be same. That what he's saying.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, got it. So
Yeah.
you mean this? Yeah, right. You are right. Yeah,
Yes. Thank you.
thank you. So yeah. So now, if you want to add a condition, now if I want only those numbers, square of those numbers which are even, in that case, you can add a condition here, num square for num in numbers if
पढ़ा रहे थे आप लोग काम कर रहे हो
num mod 2
सब बच्चा सुन रहा होगा आप
अरे
uh,
तुम जाकर कपड़ा ना पर तुम हमको ऐसे
so if the number is even number, so how to check a number is even or not? Just divide by 2, check the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then even number, right? So if number is even, then only for those numbers square it and take it into this particular list. So this will be print squares even. So we get for 2 and 4, we got 4 and 16 as the output. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's try to do one more example using strings.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, should we give the condition first and after then we should give the loop, or we can do in both the ways?
So if you give condition, yeah. So num square 2. This is actually a different thing. If we have to give some two different condition like if else, then we can do this. We can start
Then
with
it becomes ternary operator, no?
not exactly, right? So suppose in the same question, what we can do is we'll create a new list, even or odd. So for each even number, we will have even as a string in the new list, and for odd numbers, just odd. So it will be like odd, even, odd, even, odd. So in that case, what you can do is just have a string even if our number is even number, else we can add the condition odd, then we can give the iterable with the for loop. So this will give us, so we are telling that add even to the new list if the number is even, else add this particular string odd for each number in numbers. So in this case, you will get a list like this.
Ma'am, can we use while loop in comprehension?
I haven't checked that. So yeah, one more thing we'll do with characters. So let's have one more example. Let me take a sentence. Python is easy. And let me get all the vowels from this particular S. So let's have a list V. And what I want is
Excuse me,
only
ma'am.
this 0. Yeah.
Ma'am, are you explaining week 4 practice assignment?
No, no, no. This is list comprehension and functions. I'll explain the theoretical part. Then I'll go to GRPAs.
Okay, ma'am.
So, what we want? We want only the vowels from this particular string S into this particular list V. So, we can take some character in character in this particular sentence yes, and the condition I
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, I am joining late. Please, ma'am, can you tell me this is a week 4 summary session?
this is a week 4 summary session, but already we have covered few other topics in Monday session, so this is a continuation from there. The rest of the topics, functions and list comprehension.
Man, when GRPA session will be happen, ma'am?
GRPA will cover it once we complete this today itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So if the character is present in the string A, E, I, O, U. So, okay, let's change it to, because maybe some issues will happen. So let's change the case to lower and then get it. So if we print this list, what will be the output? We'll get only those vowels that is present in the this particular string. Getting it? Is that fine?
And it means that it is not counting that capital one. It is taking only the lowercase ones. Checking for lowercase ones only.
So basically, we are converting each of the character into lowercase so that if any capital letter is there, that will also be checked here. The other way, suppose we had capital I here, so we will get I also. Why? Because even though this string doesn't have capital I, here we are converting that character into lowercase. Now it will be treated like small I, a small I in this particular string. So that will give us true, so that it will be added to our list.
But ma'am, it
Okay,
will be
got it.
printed in the uppercase only.
Yeah, but it will be in uppercase only because here we are taking only the character, not after conversion. So just character as it is. Otherwise, you can do like this. We can add the capital part as well. Yeah, here, note it. Anyways, you can do. Okay. So that's enough for list comprehension. Next, we'll go with. Is that fine for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, the next topic is functions. So, what is function? Why we use function? Different types of function we have. So, this print, this is a function, right? Print is a function, a built-in function. So, built-in function means those that which come along with the Python itself. Those are defined in Python. We don't have to import any library or anything. So, we will just call it. And what is basically a function? How can we define a function? Function is actually can be called as a small block of code, a small block of code, and that performs a particular task. You don't need to remember this definition and all, just for understanding. So let's try to go through a small example, like a real life example. Suppose there is someone. Okay, nowadays we have this some kind of kettle, right? So in that electric kettle or something, if we give the items like biryani items, then that particular cooker or something will produce biryani, like it will mix together and make some kind of biryani. So basically, when we give some data to a part of code, a small block of code, that block of code will take the data, do something, and give some output. So that is actually function. Getting it? A small block of code. We give some input, maybe or may not be, and this block of code will do something and give us output. So that is function. For example, printing something. So print is a function. So print is already defined. So what print will do? Print will take something from us, some data, and what is the output? It will print to the console. Okay. And this particular lower, just we saw char dot lower. If we have lower method, then what it does? It will take the data character and then convert the case to lower and give us the data in lowercase. So that is what basically called as function, and there are different types. We'll first see user defined functions. User defined functions. User defined functions means we will define function. So we will define function. So we will give the name and then we will assign what are the tasks to do and we expect something. And another type is built-in function. These are the main functions that you should learn. Built-in functions like print and some other methods like len. There are some 60 plus built-in functions in Python. You can go through that. And user-defined functions is one which we are concerned now. So how user or as a programmer, we can define a function. So for that, we have a keyword called def, and then you have to give the function name. Before that, let me tell you the what we are going to do. Let's have a function, or I'll write it from top. Define a function that takes two numbers and find the sum and return the, or let me keep it as printing the sum here. Print the sum. Okay, that takes two numbers and find the sum and print the sum. Okay, now let's see how to define it. So def is a keyword to define a function. Now give the add num. Okay, and it takes two values a and b, and then so whatever the input that it is going to take, we have to give in this two open and closing bracket, and then you have to end it by colon. Here we have to give the definition on what this function has to do. So what it has to do, we want the sum of these two numbers a and b. Let me create a new variable, a sum of ab equal to a plus b, and we said we have to print the sum. So I'll print this particular variable, or either we can also put this all together in a single line. That's also fine. Now this is the code block that we have, and we named it as add nums. You can consider like that. So add nums, if we call this add nums and pass two values, we will get the sum as the output. So now we have to call this function to work it by giving some input, right? So using the name of the function, pass two values 5 and 10. Now let's see. We got output as 15. So here what we did, we defined a function here. This is the block of code, and this is called as function calling. So when we call the function, how to call the function? Give the function name open bracket, give the values to the function for the arguments. This is called as arguments. So this 5 will go to A and 10 will go to B. And now in sum AB will get 5 plus 10, 15. Then we will print it. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the purpose of having functions? Function will help us in avoiding repetition of code. We call it as code reusability. So if you have a program where you want to find the sum of two numbers many times, just write a function, and whenever you want that particular code, then you just have to call this function by giving two numbers. And also we call something called as modularity. So basically you might be knowing divide and conquer rules. Suppose we have a big task to do, then what we do, we'll divide the task into small tasks and we'll complete this small task, right? Similarly, if you have a bigger program, some development, some application development or something you have, you'll just divide the code into different blocks, different functions, and use it. So there are different type of functions actually. Okay, before that I'll just go through some of the terms. So first of all, you remember def keyword that we have to use when we have to define a function. Then the function name. This is function name. Okay, and this is the argument. These are function arguments. Okay, and this part is called as function body. Fine.
Ma'am, how many number of argument we can give to the function? Like here above we add just a comma b basically, right? So can we give argument for three and four variables?
You are asking, can we give three arguments here?
Yes, ma'am.
Now here we can't give three arguments. So if you try to give more arguments than what it has, so you will get an error like add nums takes two positional arguments, but three were given.
No, ma'am. Where we are defining the function, the second line.
I think I am not very clear about what you're talking. Can anyone else hear him
The
properly?
second line, ma'am.
Okay, in the second line, yeah.
Ma'am,
In the second line basically.
he wants to say that.
Ma'am, line number 2 define that function.
Yeah.
Can we add C also? I think he's asking.
Can we add?
Ma'am, here basically we are taking two argument basically a comma b, right? Add nums a comma b. So can we take three four arguments and
Yeah.
define the function?
Then you have to specify here. You have to specify here and then you can take it. I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's the point actually.
Is that the point? Okay, okay, fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, can we give a reserved word as a function name?
No. So if you give reserved word, I think print is already taken, right? It's not giving any error. Let me check it. It's better not to use it. Yeah.
Or what if you give a sum?
You want to use sum here. Some issues. Here what happened? Print missing one recursive positional argument B.
Ma'am, it should be print sum, not sum underscore AB.
And we can just print the value, right?
Oh,
Wait a minute. Something happened.
Ma'am, I'm also using some, but here it is fine.
Ma'am, well, even for me, some AB is not defined is showing in the output. I mean, I'm getting a name error. I don't know.
Mm, let's initialize this, and we need to do that. Something happened, print missing one required argument B. What happened?
Ma'am, you can return, no? Return some maybe.
Sorry.
Ma'am, here we are adding the two numbers. Then why we are using underscore AB?
Wait a minute. The declaration itself.
We can directly write sum equals to a plus b, then print sum, then we can make, I think so.
Showing some error with the print, right? Something with print.
Ma'am, for me it is perfect. I have
Yes,
written with
ma'am.
some, but it is okay.
Yeah. Think that they saved. Wait, let's. Wait.
Excuse me, ma'am. Maybe
Yes.
indentation error.
Did I do something? No, right? No, no.
Because when I writing like this, it was running for me.
I think something happened with the collabor. I'm not sure if anyone has no arguments. Comment is fine.
It's working for me as well, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, restart the session.
yeah.
I think, ma'am, it's a indentation. I thought so.
Mm-mm.
What is the meaning of missing one required positional argument B?
So print is expecting more than one argument, it says.
Can you please check with the indentation partner?
Indentation is proper.
मैम डेप ऐड समय आपने
No, no, let
Ma'am,
me.
once try it in another code cell.
Yeah, I deleted that part. And. Fine. Yeah, restarting worked, I guess. Yeah. So what we're trying is learning functions, and there are different types of function. Here we just saw how to print, right? So let me change it to returning. So I'll change it to return a plus b. So let's see the difference between adding a print and return in function. Okay. So here same, taking two numbers and adding, and after adding we are returning that value. Okay. So in that case, just by calling the function, here we will get anyway, in collab will get. So you have to print out here, only then you will get the output for this particular call. So while we are returning, so what exactly happens is in the memory, I'll tell you how what exactly happens in memory, just like story you can listen. So So when we call, so we'll start from here. So we'll call the function add nums with these two values, and in stack we will have a stack frame, an activation record we say. So this function, for this function, the memory will be allocated, and the value that we give for a and b is 5 and 10. After that, it will compute the sum a plus b, and from where, so this return 5 plus 10, the 15 value 15 from this particular function will be returned to wherever it is called. So we called it from line number 4, right? So once we compute the value for a plus b, that will be returned back to where it called. So we will get it here. So what we will get? Here we will get the value for a plus b 15, and we will print it. That's how
Ma'am,
it works. Yeah.
I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
Means you are saying in fourth line we are calling it.
Yes, yes.
Then for what will first line is the function.
Yeah.
Means I didn't understand the format.
So
Means
yeah, the function will work only when the function is called. Otherwise, it is just part of code. Okay. So in that case, now we see. So we can call it as like the main function start from here. So the first line we can consider it is starting from here. So now we are calling the function add num with this value 5 and 10. Suppose we have main function here. Consider this part itself as another function, and this is a separate function. So we are calling from this part by giving two numbers 5 and 10. That value will be copied here, a and b, and this is another part, and this function will compute the values for a plus b and return it back to from where it is called here. So we will get the value here and then print it out. So basically we are calling a function, and function does something and it returns something back to where it is called. Getting it?
ma'am, in previous example,
Hmm.
return was not there, but calculation was
Yeah,
pretty much easier.
yeah. So here, even though we don't have a return, by default it will return none. So by default you'll return none. I'll show you by printing here. So if I try to print here, print add nums 5 and 10, then you will get the output as none here. When you print that particular return value of add nums 5 comma 10, because if we do not provide any return statement, the last statement will be returning none, nothing. So in this case, we are explicitly returning some value. So that will terminate the function.
So, ma'am, if we are using return, it will go to the memory, and by using the print function, which we are using in the second definition of the function, it will print the answer.
Yeah, anyway, here also it calls the function and another part of memory will be allocated and all. But the return value will be none. The function won't return anything to the calling. It will return just none. But
Ma'am, why is it calling giving the answer none?
yeah, that's why we are getting none here, because this function call here we don't have any explicit return statement, right? So it is returning none, and that is why we get none here. And here also we are getting a return value, but the actual value we computed here. So if you want to return some value from the function back to the caller, then you have to use return statement. Otherwise you can just print it. Getting it?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
yeah, one more thing is, if you return the value, then to get the value to the output or the console, then you have to explicitly print it, right? If I call this without print, just calling the function, I'll show it in a normal compiler. You're not getting any output, right? So only if I print it, you will get the output. Okay. So this is one mistake that we see in GRPAs some students are making. Just be clear with what is returned and what is print inside a function. Okay. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, let's see some more things. Let's have a function with the default argument. So suppose check status. I'll tell you what this function is doing. So suppose we are giving some marks here, and we will also specify the pass marks. Okay. And if the given marks, if the marks that we give is greater than our pass marks, then you have to print pass, otherwise you have to print fail. Okay. And here I am calling this particular check status method with values 50 and 40. So this is a normal function, right? A function with the two arguments. Okay. If I print it, I'll get pass. So if I here in the argument itself, if I'm giving some value like 35 and okay, in argument itself we are giving some value 35 for pass marks. So in that case, we can call this function with just one parameter. So parameter means the value that we pass to the argument, 50. This 50 is for this marks. If we give 50, the 50 will go to marks, and for pass marks it will take this value 35. And if the condition that marks greater than 35, then we will get pass. And here if you want to change this default value, the value that pass marks already has, then you can specify a different value here now, maybe 45, or it's fail. So it's 55 now. Now you get fail. Why? Now pass marks will be taken. Now 55 will be taken as value for pass marks. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is something called as function with default arguments.
Ma'am, can you
Yes.
just tell me like this one, 50 to 55, that one? What 55 is making that change?
Yeah. So here you see the pass marks already has a value 35. And
Yes,
now
ma'am.
already the default value for pass marks is 35, but I want to change it. In that case, I can give value while calling the check status
So,
method.
so it will get updated to
Yes.
55.
Now this will be updated to 55.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
using this def keyword is the only way to create user-defined functions, right?
Yes, yes. So whenever you create user-defined function, start with def, then the function name, then the arguments, and also you can create function without arguments. Okay, that's also fine. Okay, this with arguments. Do something, return or print it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that's enough for functions.
Ma'am, can you give an example of function without arguments?
Okay, so suppose I want to display something, and here I call print display marks. And if I call display method, it will just print display marks.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, one more thing I'll add, not related to functions, and just for understanding, okay? Using star to unpack. So suppose we have a list numbers. Okay. Suppose we have list numbers, and if I print it using the star, let's see what's happening. What is output? You are getting this as one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, this using this star, you can unpack elements from a list or any other collection. Okay. So suppose we have something like a list with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm adding A, B, and rest of the elements to C. Now if I print this A, B, and C, let's see what is the output. You see here, so when you use a star here, what happened? So the first element of list, which is 1, will go into A, and the second element of the list 2 will go into B, and the rest of the elements of list will go into C, and that will be list. So just keep this in mind. It will be useful somewhere. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm having two questions.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the last functions which we have made, which was according to pass and fail, why this sends a answer fail? I think so it should give a pass.
Yeah. So here see, while calling the function check status, for marks we gave value 50, and pass marks we are giving 55. Now even
Okay.
though here the pass marks is 35,
Hmm.
after we call this function, pass marks will be updated with value 55.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we are not assigning the value pass marks is equals to 35.
It is already assigned, but we can change it while calling as well.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the second doubt is what is the use of the functions is in which we are not using the arguments, the def display.
Here, this is a very simple example. There will be some use cases where we will have some global variable outside, then we can do something over that. Still, even if you do not pass any arguments, we can do something.
Okay, ma'am.
Not just printing a string. This is a basic example. Yeah. So now, all clear, right? Let's move to GRPA.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I ask? Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I have a question. The question is given an odd length in string. So at the part before and after, middle three character are same.
Given an odd length string,
Yeah.
your voice is breaking in between.
What?
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So meanwhile, everyone open GRPA1. Let's do it together. If you have not done. Yeah, once you post it out, let me know. We'll take it at the end, okay? Fine now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So see here, GRPA1, so including all this collection that you have learned here, list, set, and I think tuple is not involved here. Is it there? Yeah, tuple is also there. So list, set, and tuple. So let's go through this bit of wisdom. Iterable, something that can be used in a for loop. Collection, we have seen data types that hold many values like list, set, tuple, dictionary. You will learn in next week. Now, all iterables are not collection. Example, string and range are iterables but not collections. All collections are iterables. Only ordered collections are indexable and sliceable. And only mutable collections can be modified. Mutable means that we can modify. Next, hashing is a method used in collection like set to check whether an element is present or not quickly, and indict to retrieve the value for the given key quickly. There are only certain data types that can be hashed. This is related to hashing. So basically that is a method by which when we store some values in set or dictionary keys, we'll convert that into a value, hash value, and store it in the memory. So that will help us in searching and other operations easily.
Ma'am, can you just give one example for hashing?
Example, what they can say is actually each of these objects will have a function called hash function. So set is an example which uses hashing. Basically means that when you store some values in set, a particular hash value will be created for that particular value, and that integer value, the hash value, will be stored. Okay, so you just need to understand only that many things.
Okay.
Yeah. Next we have this particular table. You can just see which uses hashing and which are not using hashing, and which are mutable and not. Ordered one, and indexable and sliceable. Collection, all the collection. String and range are not collection. The all 6 are iterables. So some of the functions are sum, min, max, sorted, reversed. That will help in doing some basic task. You know, right? It's the same. Sum to find the sum, min to find the minimum, max to find maximum, sorted is to sort, reversed is to reverse. Now we can convert one collection into another type, list or tuple. Then yeah, these things. Now in this exercise, we won't be using dict, and let's see what are the things that we're going to do in this exercise. We may try to create some empty collection, then singleton collection. Singleton means a collection that contains only one element. Then trueness and falseness in collections, which means if we have an empty set or empty list, and if we try to print it, whether we get a boolean value as a true or false according to that. Some inbuilt functions for collection. Then we'll see indexing and slicing using square bracket and colon. Hope you know this. Then membership checks, how to check whether a member is present in a list. We have to use the in operator. And then concatenation, which means kind of adding together list or string. Okay, so these are the things that we will do in this particular exercise. Now the problem type is input output type. We'll have it in suffix for evaluation. Let's see. Prefix you can leave, but still you can go through this part. The values of the below variables will be changed by the evaluator. We have int iterable. It creates a range of values 1 to 10 with a step of 3. Then string iterable will contain some values like apple, orange, banana, 3 strings. Some value contains value 4. Some collection as a list with values 1, 2, 3. Some iterable, again a tuple, 1, 2, 3. Another iterable, it's a set apple, banana, cherry. What is the specialty of set?
It's
Unique
immutable.
elements of the set.
Unique elements. Oh, immutable. Tuple, is it immutable or mutable?
It's immutable.
Yeah, tuple is immutable. Next.
In set, you cannot have repeated elements. Like similar elements cannot be there. That's the difference between set and list.
Yeah, in set we can have only unique values. We can't repeat the values. Yeah.
It's actually the mathematical
And
definition.
tuple, ma'am, cannot
Yes,
be
yes.
mutable, right?
Tuple is immutable, not mutable.
Ah, that's what.
So at another iterable, again one more range that takes 1 to 10.
Then set is mutable.
Set is mutable. Yeah.
Set is mutable.
Ma'am, you told in set we use hashing, right?
Yes, yes.
So, like, I mean, can you explain what is hashing actually?
Basically, hashing means, so each of these object, everything in Python is object, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there will be something like a class that is defined for this set, and this class will have a function called some hash function.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you add some elements into a set,
Mm-hmm.
a hash value will be generated for this particular element that you insert into set.
But how does it? How does that helps from not adding the same element? Like,
So
is it because of hashing you cannot add the same element, or is it due to something else?
yeah, this due to hashing, it will generate a unique value. So that is one case, and we will use some hash table or something where it's all in the memory how this is stored. And due to this special type of storing,
Mm-hmm.
this will help us in doing other manipulation and all.
One more thing, if you want, like the sir was telling us that if you create a list and a hash, sorry, if you create a list and a table,
Mm.
but the list will take very less memory, but the set will take a very large amount of memory. Like he showed in that video, the lecture one.
Mm-mm.
So is it like because of that, so many tables like hash is being made? Is it like because of that thing?
I'm not sure about that. I'll check it. I'll check it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
I think for set block of memory is allocated. If you, that's why maybe.
I have to check it to have a clear definition on why. Yeah, I'll get back to you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll start with creating an empty list. Please do along with me. Let's finish this today itself. Okay. So
So
how?
how me, ma'am. What is in the iterable? What is the meaning of iterable, ma'am? Means it can be iterated.
Iterable means those things or those collection or something through which we can loop through. So using a for loop, we can go through each of the elements, right?
Yeah.
So such kind of collection or something is called as iterable. Anything which
Ma'am, it means we will loop it.
yeah, we can iterate through it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
We can use it in loops. Range returns a list, right? Range is a function which returns a list, right?
Range will return a list of numbers from 1
Yeah.
to till 10 minus 1.
But when we were doing
So
loops, right? It was like we used to write for I in range 1 comma 10, which means actually it's a list only. Now I got it. Okay.
so basically, yeah.
Sorry, ma'am. Range is a list or just how can we say range is a list? I think
Sorry.
uh, uh, I think someone told me range is like a range is a list. But my question is, how can we say range is a list?
Yeah, we can't say range itself is a list. So basically, if you print, just have to. This is not the right way to get it.
Ma'am, iterate through it, I think. So you can put it in a list, then it will do it, I think so.
Ma'am, should we use a for loop to get the numbers from 1 to 10?
Wait a minute. So we get to, okay, wait, yeah.
Iter, like class. Iter, range.
No, I'll get type of.
Okay.
So this actually range itself is a class. So we get an object of range. So we'll come to this in week 10. So you will understand it better. So you just remember that everything in Python is classes and objects. So basically when you produce a range of values, actually it produces a range object. Maybe you may not get it. After week 10 you'll get it. We'll come back to this and we'll see. It's nice only. Now for now you just think it's a list of numbers, a sequence of numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
Now empty list. For list, what we will use? Square bracket. And for set, how to create an empty set? Can we use curly braces? No, right?
No, we use, yeah.
We have to use the set function itself.
Curly bracket for dictionary, right?
Yes. So we can't use it for set here. And for tuple?
Ma'am, what is meant by irritable?
Tuple, we can use this parenthesis round bracket.
Yeah. Somebody asked something. What is mean by?
Ma'am, irritable means?
Iterable, right? So something through which we can iterate or traverse using a for loop, that is called as an iterable. For example, just consider the value 10. Okay, you using just 10, you can't take 1 and 0 separate, right, when it is an integer. But consider this data, this particular set with the values apple, banana and cherry. Using a for loop, you can get one element at a time. We can loop through it, or we can iterate through this particular collection, this particular data type. So that is called as iterable. Getting it? Now, how to create singleton list? Singleton means with one
Which is
element.
having only one element.
Yeah.
One element.
So next, singleton set. Set with only one element.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. In this line number 21, here we define empty set. And we define empty set equal to set function.
Yeah.
Inside this, can we pass the element?
Yeah, you can pass the elements.
Okay, it's like a set.
Yeah.
In a tuple, in parenthesis, if we pass a element, is it a tuple or is it a set?
It's a tuple. You can create tuple like this as well. Tuple of. This will be an empty tuple.
Okay, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please tell where should we use the list, set, and tuples?
So a list can be used anywhere where you can add duplicates, all the elements, what all kind of elements you want to add. And set is used only if you need that particular collection to have unique elements. Okay. And for tuple, if you want your data not be corrupted, if you do not want to make any further changes, then you can use a tuple because it is immutable.
Okay, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
In line number 21, empty set.
Yeah.
Why we are not using the flower bracket and we are using the small bracket?
So if you use flower bracket, then that will create another collection called dictionary. So in Python, one more collection called as dictionary is there, and that also uses curly braces or the flower bracket to represent. So that's why for so that is reserved for a dictionary.
Okay.
So for set we can't use that, so we have to use this set function.
Okay, thank you.
But ma'am, I have one doubt. Like you said that this curly braces is for dictionary,
Yeah.
but while representing it, we are using that curly braces.
Yeah, that is fine. If you have elements added, then it is fine. So
Okay, if not any, if there is no element, then we have to represent
it
it
will be
like.
considered as dictionary. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
Very confusing it is.
So what you can do is, okay, you have not learned dictionary, right? Once you go through next week, you will get it. It won't be a confusion. Okay.
Like in
In
dictionary
dictionary,
you have got like in computational thinking, sir taught us a dictionary
Yes.
you can have
key value
key and
keys.
a value,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But if suppose I have got A as an empty set and B as a empty dictionary, how do you
Mm.
create a difference? But both of will have like only the like you cannot have an empty set, right? Then you have to put a value, then only will be considered as a set.
No. You can
Like
create
if you,
an empty
you've
set.
done no, you've done this singleton set equals to 1. So if
Yeah,
you remove that one, will it be a list or a set?
that will be a dictionary.
Okay, it will become a dictionary.
Oh,
Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay,
yeah.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So, ma'am, if we are having curly braces without having inside
Mm.
something in it, so it will be a dictionary.
Dictionary, empty dictionary. This will be an empty dictionary. That's why we are specifically, explicitly saying set, calling that function. Otherwise, we can't do. And this is set. Why? Because in dictionary we need key and value, right? Only if you do something like this will be considered as dictionary. Okay, this is a singleton dictionary now.
Okay, ma'am.
So
So why can't we use the brackets that we used for set then to specify singleton set?
singleton set we are using, right?
No, we're using the curly ones. No, but we can't use the round ones. The
No. If you use round ones, then we have already reserved it for tuple, right?
That's okay. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. Got it. Okay.
So, but for tuple also we have to give a comma after the first element. Only then it will be considered as a tuple with one element.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Ma'am,
Yes.
in this line 21, we
that means you have to add one extra comma.
Yes.
Okay.
Voice is breaking. Somebody is calling.
yeah, I was asking, but she interrupted. Can I go again?
Yeah.
In this line number 21, we basically did typecasting, right? Set
No.
of
Here
people got
we are not converting any data type into another data type, right? So it's not typecasting. It's just creating a set, a new
this, it is
empty set.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So we can write set and then this square brackets, so it won't be an empty set, right? Set and then square brackets.
No. This is actually a function. Set itself, if you see, it's a method or a function to convert any of the iterable to a sequence of iterable elements. Or if you have some list and if you want to convert into set, you can call it set of that particular list. And basically, it's a constructor to initialize a set or create an empty set.
Okay, ma'am, that's how it is defined.
Yeah. Now, creating falsy list. A list, but when passed a bool function, should return false. So, what is that? let's try to print bool of an empty set. This will return as a false, right? So here what is asking a list, but when passed a bool function should return false. So what we have to assign here? An empty list, right? Similarly,
Can you explain that again, please?
yeah, here what it is asking is to give a list, but when passed to a bool function, a boolean function should return false. So if you try to print an empty set after calling it on bool, so we are basically calling boolean of an empty list, or let's keep it as some with elements. Let's see what happens with elements. So if we have a list with elements, some elements, and if we are calling boolean function on that particular list, so that will return as a true. And at the
Okay.
same time, if it is an empty list, and if we call boolean on empty list, this will return as a false.
Got it, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's like 0 for false. If some element is present, it's 1 kind of. So here we have to assign an empty list. Line 29, a list, this actually set triggers. A set, but when passed to a bool function should return false. So if you try this, then you will get false. An empty set will return as a false. Okay. Next, a tuple, but when passed to a bool function should return true. Here it is asking for true. Let's try with the empty tuple, false. Try with one element, true. So can we assign this?
Ma'am, what you have written for empty set is also considered for empty dictionary, right?
Huh. So yeah, so here it's actually, I should change, right? It is not set. Right, good. So this is actually set, okay? That is a falsy dictionary actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's confusing, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
mean,
so
language is
it's
having so
actually
much
simple
thing.
only, but I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. So that was empty dictionary. Okay. This is empty set. While you do programming, no issue. We have interpreter. It will give us error. We'll correct it. That's how we do programming, right?
Ma'am, can you just show one more time how the true is happening for truthy tuple?
Yeah. So empty tuple will return as a false. At the same time, if a tuple has some values, then it will return as a true. And our question is to assign a tuple, but when passed a bool function should return true.
Ma'am, one
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Why would someone pass a list to a bool function? Why do we need to do that?
We
Because when
will have to do this sometimes. You will see some of the GRPs coming in coming weeks
Mm-hmm.
where we will have this while some list is empty, then we can add this condition, which means that is
Okay,
false.
suppose you're telling you're adding a list to a bool. What if I add a list to an int? What will happen then?
Int of list, I have to check.
Suppose if that's an int, what this will do then? Yeah,
Mm,
just add an int there.
maybe the conversion
You have to add a round bracket.
brackets. Yeah.
What will this do?
Type error.
It's a type error.
Hmm.
One more. Yeah, you actually you're in the right place. This bool has a very weird feature. This very weird behavior. I was once doing this GRPA last week,
Mhm.
and there is no way to input bool from the user directly, like in languages like Java and all. You have got like if you write true, it is considered as true. In Python, if you write true also, na, like if b equals to um, bool of input. Okay, if you do that, then by default it considered that to be true only, even though if you're inputting false, then also. So
Because you are taking it as a string, right?
yeah. So if you pass a string, any string, or string is also a list in Python. So it just, and since if you put anything which is like uh, like fill, then it will do true.
You
Like
you have to convert it into boolean and see it, because if you are simply using input will read everything as string, right?
as a string, okay, I
Yeah.
agree.
There you have to type convert.
But if I type bool and then single quotes inside that, true. So is it true or it is just the string there?
It is just a string, right? String true, some string.
Man, what is this?
So yeah, if you use quotes, then it is string, right? Right? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, ma'am, you're right.
Yeah. So
Madam, one doubt.
yeah.
Why we are writing set in a small bracket? We are not writing in curly bracket.
See. So we have dictionary. See here, dictionary is something where we can store values in key value pairs. And this is also another collection in Python. And you see how it is represented? It is using curly braces, right? So just like for list we have square bracket, tuple we have round bracket, and for dict also they use this curly bracket. So if you simply use d equal to just curly braces, then that is considered as dictionary, not set. Even though for set also we use curly bracket.
So to differentiate from dictionary, we are putting at set in small bracket.
Because if you are using curly bracket, that is considered as dictionary. That is how it is defined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. So next, line number 32. Find the minimum of indeterable. Use a min function. So where is indeterable? Here we have a range of values. We want to find the minimum. A hint is given. Use min function. So what we have to do? Call min of what? Fine.
Indeterable.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it should be indeterable. No?
Indeterable min. Right. Oh,
No, min is just the
iterable,
same.
right. And it, right. Next. Find the maximum of indeterable. Hint, use max function. Max of indeterable. Next, you know what to do. Indeterable sum. Sum of indeterable. Next, indeterable length. So for len of okay. And here, indeterable sorted. You have to get the list, the indeterable sorted in ascending order. So you have to use
Sort.
sorted or
Sorted.
sorted. Yeah.
Ma'am, what do you mean by indeterminable?
Indeterable is defined here. It's a range of values from 1 to 10 with step 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 like that.
Yeah, 1, 4,
Yeah.
7 like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now this should be in ascending order. So do we have to change anything or?
No. By default, it is ascending only.
Yeah.
But what if I want descending then? Say something there I forgot.
Then we have to use the reverse equal to false. Right?
Reverse equals to false. Okay.
Yeah.
But if I write just false, then also it will work, no?
No. So I think
Because it's just a parameter.
we have one more parameter, so maybe it won't work. Not sure.
Okay.
So next is
Ma'am,
in descending. Yeah.
it's iterable.
Sorry, reverse should be equal to true. Okay. By default, it is false. I'm sorry. By default, reverse is false. So if you want in descending order, you have to keep it true.
I was about to say that. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So sorted. Here we have to get it in descending order. So you have to change reverse as true. You have to reverse it.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
it is
you are writing
iterable,
here
no?
iter. So if you write iter or write fully.
Here I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to write it fully, yes. Because it's a variable, right? It's a variable here. We are calling that variable, using that variable. Okay. Everyone done till now?
Yes,
Excuse
ma'am.
me.
Okay.
Madam, it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the short form of iterable. We can use both.
No. We have to use iterable only, int iterable, because it's a variable name. We cannot short it. We have to use full.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, if we want to use or if we want the sorting in the descending order, we have to reverse is equals to true because by
By
default
default, it is false.
it was false. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So sorted, min, max, sum, len. These are all functions that we have for collections, built-in functions. Now, let's see. If do something in iterable reversed, we have to reverse it, else reverse it in this way. Let's see. Some iterables are not reversible. Do we have the table with reversible? No, right? Okay, which is that?
Madam, sorry, madam, you are so fast.
Oh, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, we have to understand you and then we have to fulfill that exercise also.
Yeah, sure. Take
So
your
we
time.
need some time. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Let me know once you complete, okay?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in this line number 37, we used to reverse this keyword, right?
Yeah.
Can't we do slicing with minus one step over here, like sorted int iterable and then there's square brackets?
Sorted int iterable.
Yeah, sorted int iterable and then those square brackets, then double colon and minus one.
So that is for string, right? So you mean okay? Let's see. I'll do it. Yeah.
Ma'am, in sorted, you have said that it is by default reverse is equals to false. So what by reverse is equals to false? What does it mean?
I have finished,
It is
madam.
ascending order. Okay. When reverse equal to false, then it is ascending order. When reverse equal to true, then it will give us in descending order.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's continue. Some iterables are not reversible. Why? Which is that iterable that is not reversible?
Tuple is not reversible. It is not mutable. Na?
Tuple is not mutable. Yeah. Is set reversible?
No, ma'am.
Set is not reversible. So we have to check whether it is set or not. If it is not set, we will do something. If it is set, we will do something. That's the case. And which function or which operator we can use to check whether something is an object of another type is instance. So is instance is instance. Instance means object, okay? So we are checking something is like a kid or baby of something. So is instance we can use for that particular purpose. So I want to check what we are checking here.
Is an instance of set.
Yeah. So
Ma'am, it means
here we can use
it
no.
belongs to the set or not.
Yeah, right.
Not instance of set.
Is not instance of
set.
we have to specify what you want to check. We are checking about indeterable.
Okay.
You give what object you want to check, whether indeterable is an object of set or not. That you can read now. So here see,
Can we not use type of here?
type of will give just the type of that particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this will check whether it is set or not.
But type of will also give it's a set or not.
No, type will, what is the return type of type?
Return type of type is like whatever is there in like what class is there involved
Then
in
it
it.
will be like if type of indeterable equal to
Okay,
set.
okay, I got it. You are checking for indeterable. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you're checking for set.
So
Okay, okay. Yeah.
that way you can do. This is like
Ma'am, could you please explain line number 39 is
yes,
instance?
yes. So we are taking indeterable and checking whether that is set or not, an object of set or not. Just for understanding, you think like this. We are checking whether indeterable is a set or not.
What is instance? Because we have never used this thing.
Yeah, is instance is like a method that is used to check something is of some type or object or class. So we are checking.
And the iterable is a variable here given.
Yeah. Int iterable is a variable that I have given. I'm checking whether this is an object of a type set or not. So we are checking is int iterable
We are particularly checking set,
of set.
not list and all that.
No, here only a set because we are giving the second input as set. So if you see is instance, I think this will be a very easy example to understand. Here itself you can do. So
It will give a boolean or not, like a boolean
yeah,
type.
true or false, right?
Okay.
We want true or false for our if, right? We want to get the condition. So we are checking whether 5 is an int or not. So we'll get either true or false. If it is true, yeah. So yeah. So 1 second. I'll continue in 2 minutes. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Yeah. So you are here, right? So we are checking whether indeterable is an instance of set or not. And then if it is not, then what we are going to do? Anything? Okay. So if it is not, what we are going to do? We are going to reverse it using the reversed method or the function. So you know about reversed, right? Like just like sorted, we have a reversed of what? Int. iterable. Fine. Anything to change here?
No,
So
it's
here,
fine.
one more thing is here. We want to get it in list. So what we will do is we'll convert this into list, because reversed will give us a reversed object. Just like a range we saw, right? When we printed the type of range, we got it as range object, right? So we want to convert that to list. So we are using list method to convert the reversed object into list. Just a type conversion.
Um, Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please again explain what is the conclusion or what the code wants to say in line 39 and 40?
Okay. So first of all iterables are not reversible. Okay. And one among them is set. Set is not reversible. Mainly set is not reversible. So if the iterable that we have is set, then we cannot do the reversing properly normally. So what we have to do is first we have to check whether the iterable that we have is set or not. Okay. And if not, if our int iterable is not a set, then only we will reverse it. Getting it?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am means we cannot reverse a set. But
Yeah.
the thing is, ma'am, what is reversing?
Here, if int iterable is not a set, then we will reverse it. That is what we are doing, because it is a not condition, right?
Oh, okay, ma'am. But ma'am, I want to ask what is the function of reversing, or
What is
what we can.
reverse doing? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Reverse the
Okay.
odd items.
Reverse will just reverse the, like if you have
Madam, what is meant by is instance?
Each instance is checking whether something is an object of another type.
I don't
Example,
understand.
here, right? See here. So suppose we give 5 as the input and the int as a second argument for each instance. Then we are checking whether 5 is an int or not.
Okay.
So we will get true if 5 is int. We will get false if 5 is not int.
Okay.
In this case, we got true because 5 is actually an integer. Suppose we have this as some high.
So
And
instance will act as boolean.
each instance will give us a boolean value.
Okay.
Here,
Ma'am,
see,
if
now
we
we got false. Why? Because high is not an int.
ma'am, if we are giving a value 5.0, then we will also get
Then
false
also we'll get false. Why? 5.0 is a float rate.
float value. Okay.
First argument will always be a object or a value, and the second will be the data type, right?
Data type, right?
Okay.
So here, int iterable is our value, and this is the type.
And why we are using list again in the line 40?
Yeah. So here we are converting back to list, because here it is defined that we want it in list. Here, see the return type. So basically, the reversed. So you have to see the reversed. What is reversed returning? You can get all this in our cheat sheet as well, I guess. Okay.
Here reverse means the set is reversed to list.
Yeah.
Not in the elements in the list is reversed.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Huh? That means the set is reversed to list. Not the element of elements are not reversed.
No, elements will be reversed.
For example, 2, 5, 10. That it is in the set. If it is not by int, what is the question? Yeah, int iterable, then that set is reversed as the list 2, 5, 10, not 10, 5, 2 like that.
Sorry. Let me explain. So, what is reverse doing? Reversed will take something, and suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reverse of it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll get that.
Yeah.
But that will not be in the same type that we give. If we give set for reversed, we won't get set in the reversed manner. We will get a reversed object, a different kind of object. Okay. But what we want is a list. Because of that, we are converting whatever that we are getting into list. So we will get some type here, a reversed type object that we are converting back to the list using list.
Can you give one example to understand?
Example, in this particular case,
Set and reversed list.
see here, in this particular case, int iterable is a range object, okay?
Okay.
And range object is taken by this reversed, okay? And then it will reverse it, and the elements will be now in reversed manner. But
3, 10, 1.
yeah, and the object that we will get, the return value that we will get after reversed is called as reversed object. Another kind of object called as reversed.
Okay.
But what we want is list. The data type should be list. So we are converting that to list using list method.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I ask a small doubt?
Yeah.
In the line number 39, why are you checking that for the condition is instance for only set?
Because a set is not reversible, all others are reversible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like you put this list of reversible of iterable, right?
Yeah.
So can we put like a reversible then list and then iterable inside it only? Like just convert the iterable before only, or reverse can only take iterable.
No. So yeah, that you can do, but still the final output that we want is in the form of a list. That's why we are putting list outside.
What's the return type of reversed?
Reversed object, another type called reversed.
Okay, reversed object.
Yeah, so if you see where is that, we just I'll show. Uh,
Ma'am, can we reverse tuples?
yeah. So now if you print,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, ma'am. I got it. What you're trying to say.
yeah,
Like
so
like alpha is a list. You are reversing the list, and then it will print the list, or will not print the list.
alpha is a list,
And
and we will reverse it. Now you want to directly see the reversed one.
No, what was the code before, ma'am? What you copied? Show me that now. Before, yeah.
We are
This
just
thing.
printing out each of the elements.
Okay.
It's an
So
iterable actually.
it's an iterable. Now that's the thing.
Yeah. See here, it's a list reverse iterator object.
I got it.
So we can use a for loop and print it. So as it is a different type of object, we are trying to convert into list. We want list now, not this particular object. We are type conversion actually.
So, ma'am, we have to write print, then list, then R alpha.
Print that list, then R alpha. Yeah. Okay, I'll just do that. Then you will get the list.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hope it is clear for others as well.
Ma'am,
yeah.
One doubt, like in line number 39, if you will not use not, then it will false. Then why it is necessary to if not written? Like why it is necessary to written not?
So here, this according to the comments I have written. So here it is saying some iterables are not reversible. So basically it indicating that we have to check whether it is not an instance. We will add those which will
If
satisfy.
you will not written not, then it will give me false na. Only boolean value will be given. Then why it is necessary, ma'am?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Like if you will not write not after if, then it will be give false. Correct?
Yeah.
Then why it is necessary to write not after if?
So see, I just did according to the comments here. So in the comments, we are trying to get the reversed version, and first we are trying to get as it is not a set. Otherwise, we could have gone that. It's fine only. You can do either way, but
Okay, ma'am.
this
Okay, clear.
case, yeah. So in that case, so otherwise, so else condition, we have the comment as in that case, sort it in ascending order and reverse it. In which case, if it is not reversible, if it is set, what to do? How to get in ascending order here?
Sort function.
Yeah, we have to use a sorted function and call the initerable, and then reverse using
Mm,
okay. So yeah, next is indexable. Some collections are not indexable. Which is that collection that is not indexable? Is set indexable?
No, it's not indexable.
no.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Anything which has got hashing is not indexable.
right, right.
And ma'am, what is hashing?
Hashing. Can anyone explain?
It's just a technique in which you kind of store numbers in a list, and then it is not stored really as a number, but in stored as a hash, and it's kind of like, for example, you can consider a list of size 10. So what hashing really does, it creates a table and store those 10 elements in such a way that none of them is really stored in the index where it should be stored, and it's stored somewhere other where, but it's very quick to iterate over through it, right? It is done in such a way. So the benefit of hashing is like, you don't need to move through all the elements to find an element, right? Like, for example, you've got a list of 1000 and you want to search a number which is 600, which is present in 999th position. So you have to run the loop that many times, but with hashing this can be done very quickly, because it is just like stored in a particular order in which the program hashed it before. I
Mm.
think so. This could be one of the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Previously, when we were using the sorted function, I think somebody or you said that inevitably it would be in the ascending order unless and until we put reverse as true, right?
Yeah.
So in line number 42, when it says, yeah, and reverse it. Okay, we got it, got it.
Yeah.
I did not read it completely. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So here again we are checking whether it is set or not, and then the third last element of some collection. We have to get the third last element of some collection. So this should be some collection, right? How to get the third last element? Negative indexing we can use, right? -3. Here we have to set the third last element to none. How can we do that?
Null.
Yes, just give none for third last element. Now here, next sliceable. Which is that collection that is not sliceable? Again set. So we'll use some collection, right? Same variable, right? Some collections are not sliceable. Okay. Now, odd index elements. What we have to do, the elements at odd indices of some collection. we have to get the type of sum collection, elements rolled into the sum collection. What we have to do here? Can you infer?
Colon 2.
Okay. We have to get the starting from
Colon 2. If you will use it starts and end.
Ma'am, 1:::2.
but E0 is even, right? So we have to start from 1. 1, 3, 5. So we'll start from 1, then 5, sorry, 3, then 5 in that manner. Otherwise,
Ma'am, will you explain this again?
yeah. So here we have to get the odd index elements, right? So in that case, we have to see the slicing. So if we start from the beginning, if we simply give like this, it will start from the beginning 0 and till the end, and with a step value of 2. So that will be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. What we want is odd index elements, so that it should start from 1, then the step is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3, then 5. That's how we get element set odd indices.
Thank you.
Next, here again, none. Yeah.
Uh, uh, in
Ma'am, what is colon?
it's not letting me complete.
Okay, so you are not aware of this slicing operation?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is start index, this is end index, this is a step value. Shall I show an example? I assume that you watched the previous session and then came, okay? That's why I went in this manner. 3, 4, 5. Or I'll change the number. Okay. Now, if I print L of 0, then I will get what? 0 is 9. The index of 9 is 0. Index of 5 is 1. Index of 6 is 2. Index of 7 is 3. Index start from 0. Remember, index value starts from 0.
And ma'am, in hashing, we don't have index for the just like 9, 5, 6, 7.
No. So, next, let's try to see 0 to 3. So, if you do this, we will get 956. How? So, we start from 0. So, we will get the element 9. This we can say it like 2. Just PO2, okay? 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 minus 1. So the end index will stop at end index minus 1. So the elements that we will get will be L of 0, L of 1, L of 2. So we are getting 956. Now, so that this is called a start index. This is end index. And if you add a step value here, now what will happen? We are getting 9 and 6. So we started at 0. That gave us 9, and the step value is 2. So with 0, 2 will be added, and 0 plus 2 is 2. And then the next value at index position 2 will be taken. So after 9, we will get 6. And after 6, we don't have, if we add, we don't have, right? That's why we don't get any other values. Start index, end index, and this is the step value. Now come
Yes,
here.
ma'am. In the when we are started this session, we are using in the range we are using start, stop, and step, but we are using commas in place of these
Yeah,
columns.
yeah. Range is actually a function call, right? So there it is comma. We are actually passing arguments. But
Okay, ma'am.
here, this is slicing operation, so we use colon operator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Now,
ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, at the previous page, 0 colon 3 means 0 to 3.
0 colon 3 means 0 to 3 at a step of 2. Let me keep more elements and show you. So 0 to I'll take index value till 6, which means it will go 6 minus 1, 5, okay? And the step value is, let me change this to 3 now. Now just predict the output. Starting from 0, so we will get L of 0,
9 comma 6.
9. And then after 0, the next value will be 0 plus 3, 3. So 0,
Okay.
1, 2,
7.
it will be 7. Next, 3 plus 3, 6. So value at
6.
index 6.
6.
It is 6, huh? Yeah, it's 6. So this will be the output. Oh no.
Half 6 will be included
Oh, the
because
6 won't be included, right? That's why.
minus
Yeah,
1.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have 7, then we will get. Otherwise, we won't get. Clear? So now, if you want only odd elements, let's try here. So if you keep 2 and if you start from 0, the elements that we are getting is from 9, right? Which is actually 0th position, which is odd, which is even. But what we want is even values. I'm sorry, odd values. So odd values start from 1, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. That's why we are starting from 1. Now we will get
Ma'am, there will be change here also. Index value start from 1.
index value always start from 0, but here we are changing it to 1. So now it will start from 5.
Because we want the odd values.
Yeah. As we want the odd values, we are changing the starting index as 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah, this one. How to check if some value is present in some other collection? We have to use which operator? In.
Is in.
So just get it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can you please explain the sorted function for descending order?
Yeah. So sorted function itself has some other arguments like a reverse. Okay. And by default, the reverse will be set as false. And that means if you call sorted on some collection, we will get the elements in ascending order by default, because this particular key or argument will be set as false. And if you want it in descending order, then you have to change the reverse argument as false. Clear?
Okay. So we have to use reverse whenever we want the
Descending
descending
order.
order.
Yeah, we have to
Okay.
set it to true.
True or
True.
false?
Descending order, you
True.
have to set it to true.
True. Okay. And if we set it to the false, then
Then it will be
it
in
will again
ascending order itself.
be ascending order.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Now here, some collections are not ordered. Which is that collection? Not ordered.
List.
Mm-mm.
Sets.
Set again is not ordered.
List is also not ordered.
List is ordered.
Dictionary is not ordered.
Dictionary keys are not ordered. Yeah.
And ma'am, tuples.
Tuples are ordered, right? We can
Okay.
access using index.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought order mean ascending or descending. Sorry.
No, not that ordered. It's like having a position, either insertion order, like how we add elements. In that manner, it will be stored everywhere.
Ma'am, can you explain 54 line?
T4, yeah. So here we are checking some value is present in some collection. For example, if you want to check whether 6 is present in this particular list, so how will you do? Print 6 in L. True. So if 6 is present in this particular list, it will return true. This is membership test.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So here this is just the variables. Some value is some variable that contains some value, and some collection is some collection. Here we have already, we are checking some value 4 is present in some collection 1, 2, 3. 4 is present in this particular list or not.
How can we access that Google Code Lab that you are using it? Like,
You want it, I will share it. This, so here we reached here. So true if some value is present in even indices of some collection. So we have to return true if this particular some value is present in even indices of this particular collection, some collection. How to write it? You see?
colon 2.
Completely?
Like a variable name, then square bracket, colon 2.
Okay, so we have to check some value in some collection, right? And then you are getting it right.
No, ma'am. Can you explain question one more?
So we have to return true if this particular value is present in even indices of this collection. So we are checking whether 4 is present in even indices of this particular list, either at 0 or 2 or if more is present. So we are taking the list from first to last, and the step value is 2. That will help us to go through the even indices, and we are simply using the membership operator.
Ma'am, if we are writing 0 before two columns, that will be having the same
Effect, right?
procedure.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, line number 54, one space is missing after equal to. 54.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah.
It will not show error after run.
No,
I
might
think
be
so. She's
something
something
else.
about identification error.
Here we don't have any indentation error, right? Let's see. Once we complete it, we'll see.
Ma'am, what is ordered
Yeah,
in
so
56?
ordered means suppose we have a list, okay, and when we add elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you add 6 again, then that will go at the end, right? And this particular order will be preserved, the insertion order. It's not ascending or descending order, it's the insertion order. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay.
Now, in that case, it is some value to none. Here, what we have to do? Again?
None.
No. Now, here we have to do concatenation of some iterable, another iterable, and yet another iterable into a list. We have 3 variables. We just have to concatenate it, and finally, we want to get it in the form of list. So, what we can do? Can we convert each to list and simply add it? We'll take the first iterable, convert into list, add it with list of next. And next, another into a list. Fine.
Yeah, this will work, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I do like in a single square bracket like list, then some iterable plus another iterable plus 8 another iterable?
So you see, some iterable is a tuple, and
Okay,
another
okay.
iterable, yeah. So it's better convert it and add it. Now finally, again, not ordered. We have to check the condition.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Why we are in the line number 56? Why we are using if not case?
Why we are using, because if it is not ordered, we can't use this slicing thing, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we have to check whether it is ordered or not. Now,
Ma'am, can you explain why don't we take 0 in the slicing, like in the line number 57? Yeah.
you can use it. Avoiding is also fine. That's why avoid it.
0 is
Okay.
default like there.
Yeah. Okay. So finally, concatenate all the strings in string iterable with hyphen in between. Where is string iterable? String iterable is here, which is a list of strings. We have to concatenate it with a hyphen in between. We should get apple hyphen orange hyphen banana, right? So how can we do that? What do you think?
What is the variable name, ma'am? Can you just scroll a little bit up?
It's a string iterable.
Okay. String iterable 0 plus quotes, then hyphen, then plus, then string iterable 1, then plus, then quotes plus, in this way. Right?
Yeah. And any other easy way? Do you know any other function? You know split function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
opposite to that we have join one as well. Can we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
So we can use it. So for join function, you have to specify by how we want to join it. It's asking for hyphen, right? So hyphen dot join, and what we have to give in join?
List the string iterable.
Yeah. So string string iterable. Next, in that case, sort them and concatenate. If it is not
Ma'am,
ordered, then
can you do an example of join function?
yeah, once we complete this, is it enough?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. So in the other case, if it is not ordered, then you have to sort them and then concatenate. You just have to do some modification here. What we have to do? Sort it. Sort it and get it. All good, right?
That should be a hyphen. I think you've used underscore.
Yeah, right. This is hyphen. Let's run it and see. Somewhere we made a mistake. 7, 2 false, 2 false. This is which is wrong here. Mm,
One.
The 12th case.
Yeah, 12th case.
well,
Last example.
Yeah, here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Apple, banana, cherry, mango. Optional mango and apple. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe it should be sorted in another order. I think so.
Yeah, sort should be sorting. Something is there.
There is some problem again. This. Okay. Okay. Why is this cherry coming after?
Let me see. Manage apple.
Cherry banana flip.
So what we are doing? We sorted it out. Oh, okay. We didn't change here. So and now again one more error. I should change back to false. All good. Okay, so that's it. That's it for today. 7:10. Please try it out. If you
Okay,
have any
ma'am.
doubt,
Just show the last line, ma'am, what is made the changes.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
okay.
Madam, can you show it again, madam? We can photo. We are not quick enough to write all these things.
Yeah.
Additional errors are showing for me.
Extra errors. What
Ma'am,
error? Yeah. Yeah. Tell me.
what is the difference between array and list?
What is the difference between it?
Array and list.
Please repeat. I just heard till what is the difference between. After that, what did you tell?
Ma'am, array and list.
Yeah, array
Oh,
and list.
we don't have array in Python.
It's array and list in Python are almost the same. Array in
Yeah.
other languages are like immutable, but in Python, list is mutable. You can add n numbers of element, irrelevant of its size. You can keep on appending elements into it.
In which language array is immutable?
Immutable.
Java.
Java, we have immutable arrays.
Java, yes.
Thank
You
you,
cannot
ma'am.
No, no, no.
once you define an array of size, then you cannot change its size.
That is
The
so.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
the
ma'am.
primitive
Java.
That's
type arrays in
different.
Java.
Thank you for this amazing session.
Immutability and having being fixed size is different, right?
Like mutable, the size is immutable. I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
What about the content being mutable?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes.
I have some doubt in question. Can you explain?
Can we take it in the next session?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Ma'am, I got some errors. Can you see? Like, can I
Ma'am,
share
Uh,
my
I also
screen?
I
tomorrow
also
we
got
have
some error,
an
ma'am.
office hour. Can you join it?
Ma'am, can you share the code, ma'am? I will cross check once.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yeah.
ma'am, can you share your LinkedIn?
Sorry. Can you share your
Ma'am, can you share your LinkedIn?
LinkedIn? You can just search.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
your
will get
LinkedIn.
it. Yeah, I will just.
Ma'am, can I share my screen?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes. So case
See,
7,
ma'am, I have.
8, 9 are failing.
Sorry, ma'am.
Please show the code part.
Okay, okay. Uh, mm, yes, ma'am.
Can you zoom it?
Yeah.
So which line was given there?
1 minute, ma'am. Check it. It is line 86.
86.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Yeah. Huh? There is no line number 86.
Are you sure? Then what is that? Show the error
I'm
again.
getting the same error that she's getting.
Show me the error again. Is it like?
Yes, ma'am. This is it.
Okay, this is okay. Something is happening in the code. Set is not observing support indexing. We're trying to do something in a set. Yeah. Go back.
Yes, ma'am.
So the suffix code is given raising the error. So yeah, if not use instance of in literally set, then we're trying to access. That is fine, right? Not instance. Then error is you check something related to set. You have some issues.
Okay.
String where it is not a set. Mm. Check from line number or the code from where we are checking whether it is an instance of set or not. There you are trying to assign values to set using indexing. Something is happening there. That's why you're getting error.
In which line? Where, ma'am?
That we have to check properly one by one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try it out. If you're still getting error, you just post in the discourse, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh.
Yeah.
Madam, for me it's line number 60, madam.
Sorry?
Line number 60.
Line number 60 is actually it's going to suffix code,
That
right?
is all iterables list plus concatenate, na?
Yeah.
Here the third concatenate is showing in blue, and also that comments also in blue.
Maybe you removed hash or just check it whether it is still commented or have you removed that comment?
Pardon, I am not able to understand
Share
you.
your screen, please.
Can I show my screen?
Yeah.
See here. Can you see? 61.
Erased. Okay. It's because you don't have to use codes for some iterable. Remove that codes from some iterable before and after that particular variable name.
Pardon?
List of you are opening the bracket, then you have a code, right? Single
Yeah.
code. Remove that.
So that apostrophe bracket we have to remove.
Yeah, just remove back.
This one, huh?
Yeah, every codes you can remove.
Okay.
So it's a variable name, so it's not a string.
Whoa. Okay. Right.
You removed A.
I thought it is a string. It's a word and all that. So, oh, sorry.
See, you are removing the first letter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
And the previous one as well.
And
Wait. And the previous one, another you removed A and codes is still there.
which one?
Another iterable. There you removed that A. See the list of. Go to the same error you will get.
Okay. Same 61.
Uh,
Yet another iterable.
yeah. Before that, simple another iterable. Now there you see list of. You have a single quotes remove that.
Here, oh, okay, okay. So backspace and delete, I am confusing.
Yeah.
Without seeing that I'm doing, I'm seeing the screen and doing.
So now, what is the problem?
Then 65 small mistakes.
Yeah, you have not completed that part.
Fast, last one I didn't write.
Yeah.
Okay, I have taken photo.
Okay.
So I'll finish it and see.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, madam. Very nice of you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you share your LinkedIn, please?
Ma'am, can you share the code, ma'am? It is showing error for me also.
It's better. Yeah, okay, I'll share it, but it's not a good practice, okay?
Or ma'am, I can share. Can I share my screen, ma'am? You can see the error message.
Yeah, can you join the next session? It's 7:20, so I have to leave office as well.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. I have put the code in the chat box, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.